Philip K. Dick was a brilliant science fiction author who, following a famous contact experience in 1974, where he received a purportedly divine revelation, conceived of a being he called VALIS, Vast Active Living Intelligence System. Dick thought it possible he had gone insane and spent years writing volumes of text, struggling with the contents of the messages he had received from VALIS. Dick was not precisely clear about the specific properties of VALIS, for his mind was overwhelmed and reeling, but he struggled nonetheless to put the ineffable into words. He conceived of VALIS in many ways, even musing VALIS was a satellite beaming gnosis into people's minds with a pink telepathy laser at one point. At other times, Dick conceived of this divine presence, or being in part, as a plasmate released from its prison when the Gnostic Dead Sea Scrolls were unearthed. Dick seemed to have become convinced that this reality was a fake, simulated reality, even going so far as to introduce the idea that this world was a tangent universe resulting from Satan's victory at the crucifixion. Dick coined the term Black Iron Prison for this fake reality. The Black Iron Prison was conceived of as a metaphorical construct that symbolizes the myriad forms of confinement imposed by our societal structures, belief systems, and internalized narratives. It is a prison not made of bars and chains, but of the ideologies, systems, and technologies that govern our lives, often without our conscious consent. The Black Iron Prison could be said to represent the suffocating grip of encroaching totalitarian technocratic rule, the pervasive spread of nihilism, the corruption of mainstream religions and institutions, the expansion of commercialism and propaganda, and the veneration of militarism and warfare. VALIS was, in Dick's understanding, a countering force, a divine lure in Whiteheadian terms, here to subtly guide seekers to an awakening, perhaps showing them the way to free themselves from the Black Iron Prison's confines. It was subtle, gentle, non-coercive, and like to hide in the garbage of the world, a so-called God in the gutter, invisibly invading the Black Iron Prison from outside. Strangely, Dick also prophesied the birth of a new Apollo, who would take on the conspirators of the Black Iron Prison, a second coming, Christ incarnating in hell in order to empty it out. It is an interesting exercise to compare Dick's concepts to Taoist ones. The Tao is said to be an invisible, ineffable force, like a precursor to God, from which arises all form and context. The word Tao has been variously translated as path and also as meaning. Like VALIS, the Tao acts as a subtle sort of non-coercive, divine lure, showing us the way back to harmony and peace. Just as VALIS quietly invades and dissolves the Black Iron Prison, Tao is said to have the properties of water, wearing away even solid stone over time. As it says in chapter 78 of the Tao Te Ching, under heaven nothing is more soft and yielding than water, yet for attacking the solid and strong, nothing is better. It has no equal. The weak can overcome the strong, the supple can overcome the stiff. The Tao is said to be very small, staying in low places, much like the God in the gutter conception of VALIS. Both the Tao and VALIS are said to have a propensity to manifest in the overlooked corners of existence, which points us at an understanding of divinity's pervasive yet unobtrusive presence. Though Taoist thought doesn't specifically refer to a conspiracy or a Black Iron Prison, it does implicitly acknowledge man's fallen condition, as we have lost the way of the Tao. This is possibly best illustrated by the life choices of the author of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu, who famously left China during the Warring States period and headed west to live a quiet life away from the hassle and ruckus of civilizational strife. The Black Iron Prison then could be thought of as a state of disconnection from the Tao and its treasures, humility, compassion, and moderation. It is certainly observable that we are not living in a way that we are adapted to. We are disconnected from nature by and large, getting inadequate sun and exercise, we have poor diets, we are disconnected from each other, and we are suffering from an epidemic of mental illness. Dick noted that an important theme to understand about the Black Iron Prison was that whoever fights the empire becomes the empire. This is a very Taoist idea, as Taoists stress the importance of not striving and letting the world conquer itself. The fundamental problem here is that power corrupts even the best of us. In the Taoist view, it is an exercise in futility and frustration to try to straighten out an inherently wiggly world. So here we stand, at the crossroads of time, questioning the nature of our reality, our civilization, and our connection to the divine. Our current society does seem to be moribund. Perhaps the human experimentation with civilization is reaching some sort of apotheosis. Are we witnessing the collapse of the black iron prison, the end of an era, or will it continue to spread and propagate itself? Perhaps the prophetic voice of poet Leonard Cohen may be worth listening to here. As he said, "Every heart to love will come, but like a refugee." Taoism is often referred to as the watercourse way, and Taoist philosophy holds that the highest good is to be like water. Could the dawning of the age of Aquarius be a call for us to be like water, to return to the way of the Tao and harmonize with it? Perhaps that is something worth hoping for, living for in these dark times. Perhaps the second coming of Christ will not be a grand spectacle, but a subtle shift, a divine lure guiding us back to the Tao, the natural way of things. This idea, embraced by a new generation of awakened seekers, could suggest a future where we flow like water, spreading everywhere, guided by the unseen hand of the divine, whether we name it the Tao or VALIS, towards a reality that is harmonious, compassionate, and profoundly spiritual.